Hello, Robs. We're back with more books. I would have done this earlier, but that stupid, pointless debate was on, in which neither so-called candidate discussed the fact that we're $32 trillion in debt with ever-increasing expenses. But who cares? I mean, this is Rome shortly before the fall, but no one wants to acknowledge that. But I don't need to belabor the point. Let's get on with this. These two books I did not mean to get, but since they were half off, I don't really complain about it. Black Legion of Callisto and Jandar of Callisto by Lynn Carter. They're not in great shape. Had they been in good shape, I probably would have purposely got them, but I stuck them in my basket and then to check them to see if they had any value, which they kind of do if they're in good shape, but as is, they're definitely worth 30 cents because everything was half off. I didn't know, but I'm not taking these fucking things off. No. So, yeah. Even at half off, there were something. Ellery Queen, the Greek Coffin Mystery, one of the remaining Ellery Queens that was at that store, which I could not find for weeks, but I did find it now, so I really like that copy better. I could find a copy. Featured above is the cover, which appeared on the first edition of the mystery. That's great. Yeah, that's great. And I did also find out that Ellery Queen is not a person. It's an amalgamation of two writers who formed an alliance and became Ellery Queen. One guy basically thought up these stories. I don't recall their names, and the other put them into action with some help from the originator. But yeah. Unauthorized Freud. Doubters confront a legend. I'm a doubter, but more a legend. I'm a legend in the way that Sleepy Hollow has a legend. A disaster. Why? This is why I don't like pulling these stickers off. Well, I do like pulling them off, but it's probably a bad practice for a YouTube channel. Thanks for the music, train. This is bad practice because these stickers. Hey, we're trying to save you money by putting this sticker on there. Now, what they're trying to do is make sure nothing gets stolen, is what they're trying to do. They act like they're doing you a benefit, but they're actually losing money because they're probably wasting more money on these damn stickers. Not that a sticker costs that much, but still a waste of money and the cumulative effect. And I hate them, and they don't come off easily. But yeah, I think Freud is mostly fraudulent, though he had a few valid, I don't know what they are, so I'm not even going to speak on. Everything I've heard from him is absolute fucking bullshit. The Sun Also Rises by Hemingway, which is some kind of book club edition. I think it's missing the jacket, but who knows. Look at that mustache. Hey, look, it's signed. I've actually seen people selling books online where they have where they claim it's signed when it's just the fucking part of the print. 20th Century Library Book of the Month Club, New York. I don't know what year this is. I'm going to guess the 80s or 90s. Copyright 1991. Reprinted with the permission of Charles Scribner's Sons. An imprint of the Macmillan Company. Obviously, you know Hemingway, and Hemingway knows us back. Luckily, I'm sitting right next to Hemingway, my Hemingway. Rough Magic, a biography of Sylvia Plath, one of about a handful of women poets who I actually have respect for. Edna St. Vincent Millay being another, Wanda Coleman's another. Who else? On the whole, that's about it. But obviously, many wrote nice poems, good poems. Ditto with men. I mean, it's not like I have a litany of favorite men poets either. Rough Magic. What year is this from? Seems like it's a reprint of an older book. First published in 91 by Viking Press. What year is this? I think this is 91. Never seen this one, or maybe I have it. You never know. 50 cents for this book. It's not a bad deal. Actually, it's 50 and a half cents since it was half off. You know, I've looked this name up about 30 times. And I forgot it every time. What's it? Scheherazade goes west. Different cultures, different harems. And I didn't really check the book to make sure it was about harems. I just assumed it is. Fatima Mernissi. Yeah, I did look on the back and it says nonfiction, so I grabbed it. I didn't really care. Exploring traditions east and west, Mernissi employs the power of gentle humor to expose the foibles of both. A funny, sweet, wise, magical read by one of the very best writers we have. Fatima Mernissi, the world-renowned Islamic feminist, has shed unprecedented light on the lives of women in the Middle East in works hailed as enchanting. Mernissi reveals her unique experiences as a liberated, independent Moroccan woman faced with the peculiarities and unexpected encroachments of Western culture. I don't know if it's really about harems. Would be the Magdalene. Why would you put it in this kind of font? I guess it is about harems. Aggressive Shirin hunts for love. Weird book. But I'll take it. Stephen King on writing. Not a particular fan of King. I've stated before that I think he's an awful writer. So, of course, I would buy his book on writing. I do believe it's worth more than 50 cents, though. See if we can pull this one off without any damage or residue. Since we're only at the 8.5 minute mark, 8:45. Yeah, this one's coming off better. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, come on, don't leave anything behind. See how fun that was? For years, I dreamed of having the sort of massive oak slab that would dominate a room. In 1981, I got the one I wanted and placed it in the middle of a spacious skylighted study in the rear of the house. For 6 years, I sat behind that desk, either drunk or wrecked out of my mind. A year or two after I sobered up, I got rid of that monstrosity and put in a living room suite where it had been. In the early 90s, before they moved on to their own lives, my kids sometimes came up in the evening to watch a basketball game or a movie and eat pizza. I got another desk. It's handmade, beautiful, and half the size of the T-Rex desk. I put it at the far west end of the office in a corner under the eave. I'm sitting under it now, a 53-year-old man with bad eyes, a gimp leg, and no hangover. I'm doing what I know how to do. And as well as I know how to do it, I came through all the stuff I told you about, and now I'm going to tell you as much as I can about the job. It starts with this: put your desk in the corner, and every time you sit down there to write, remind yourself why it isn't in the middle of the room. Life isn't a sports system for art. It's the other way around. Enlightening. To the Lighthouse by Virginia Woolf. And this one, I don't care if the sticker comes off because it's Ex Libris. No, it's not Ex Libris. It's Ex Library, and it has this Mylar jacket, which is awful looking. So it will probably be ripped off if I can get it off. Don't really know much about Virginia Woolf, but I believe she's been mentioned by person or two who I follow in regards to Clarice Lispector, who I also am not a particular fan of, but it gives me something to look for at thrift stores that I know has some value. And the Spectre, whatever you think of her, so far I think rather dimly on her abilities, or her former abilities since she's dead. But if she's worth money, then she's worth looking for and collecting. Mind you, I don't have to like a writer to collect their works. Stephen King is proof of that. If there's value in them, I will collect them. Anyway, I don't know if this is coming off, but if it does, it will. I will take this sumbitch off and try to make it nice looking. I'm a book rehabilitator. Oh shit, come off tape. You piece of garbage. That ain't the way to rehabilitate, Bubba. You're basically just... Ignore what I'm doing right now. This is not proper protocol. But I have enough now. Let me unsheathe it from reality. Oh man, it's hot up here. I was courteous enough. I will clean this up though. I think this is salvageable to use as some kind of protection. See what it looks like unsheathed from the reality which it's been put through. Doubt this book has any value. It's probably been reprinted so many times that it has no value, but who knows. The Little Brown Jug, the Michigan-Minnesota rivalry. Oh, it's autographed too. Oh, nice. Ken Maggi and John M. Stevens. Forward by Glenn E. Schembechler III. Obviously, the Little Brown Jug is the trophy, which is shared by these two teams. Most teams in college have some kind of trophy that they fight for every year, and the winner of the game obviously gets the trophy to take back to their respective campus. Since I'm in Michigan, and Michigan's the team I've always followed, it adds a little interest to me, though. I would say sports is not a big part anymore of my life. 95 Poems by E. Cummings. He is one of few poets that I actually have respect for. I don't know if this is an original copy. Looks pretty damn original. I probably have I'm pretty sure I have a jacketed hardcover copy of this on my shelf right over there, but I ain't walking over there. To stand alone in some autumnal afternoon, breathing a fatal stillness, while enormous this how patient creature who's never by never robbed of day, puts away on by always dream, is to taste, not beyond death and life. Imaginable mysteries. This is Cummings in his later days, before he died of an aneurysm. I don't recall which poems are in there now, but there's always a good one or two, and most of his were throwaways, but he was innovative, so you can't really blame him for continuing. Well, he had a stipend from his rich parents, and eventually he became rather popular at the end of his life and didn't need that money. During his lifetime, some books, I would say in the middle of his career, probably in the, what'd you say, 30s, 20s, 30s, probably sold at times 15 copies of a book, which is unbelievable. But he did have a few. He had the novel The Enormous Room, which is more a memoir than a novel, but I think it's considered a novel, which gave him some money and some grants. Rather smart guy. Silence is a looking bird, the turning edge of life, inquiry before snow. As I said, he's basically turned into a haiku writer at the end. But then I found out, not recently, but within a year or two, that he was being cucked by his model wife, so I guess explains why he turned to nature. I think he couldn't perform or some shit like that. And she cucked him. Which is rather horrible, but whatever. I think he was cheating on her too, so let's not be one-sided. And that's going to be all. All right, Probs. Goodbye.